Okay, friends, I want to tell you about a new invention that I saw last night. Last night at Chatzois Halayla, Rabbi Chalab called me. He, before all his wholesalers come, he wanted to give me a nice esrog. So I went over to his house to get a nice esrog. Gave me a big box of the best esrogim out of tens of thousands of esrogim. So I could choose an esrog. You know, he has, thousands of esrog. So I'm going through the box, He has a storage room. Now the storage room has, thousands of lulavim, but it has to be refrigerated. How do you get a refrigerator so big? It's not, can you imagine finding a refrigerator the size of the shul? So there's an unbelievable invention. I think it's called something like cool bat or cold bat. What does it do? Somehow, all the air conditioners are regulated that the coils can't get too hot so that it doesn't cool off too much and deplete electricity, right? An air conditioner will get the room down to 68 or 65 or 60, but not to 55. You can't have an air conditioner, or not to 40. But they could. It's just they're regulated. So the cool bat, what it does is it removes the it circumvents the regulation. So now the air conditioner turns the room into a refrigerator. It's oyam and oira. Instead of spending $50,000, you spend $500 on the air conditioner and $17.99 on the cool bat, or I don't know how much it costs. So I thought that was going to be a good shear. No, I really wasn't planning on using it this morning. Only when I was thinking about, there's not enough time to sleep this time of the year. There's no time for anything. Rosh Hashanah is over, and the next day is Tzom Gedalia. I mean, when are you supposed to prepare Shabbos Shuvah Drasha? So imagine if there were cool bats, but not for temperature, but for being able to do things. Like basically, it's like steroids. Imagine if they had some kind of way that a human being has limited capacity. Imagine if there's something you could plug yourself into to increase your capacity. That would be very nice. Imagine if you could accomplish 10 times as much. Here you have an air conditioner that all it could get to is 68 degrees. You plug in this little machine and it makes the room 45 or 50. So imagine if, anyway, but then I was thinking, imagine if there's a way to make your mitzvahs, the mitzvahs that you're doing already, you could double their value without doing anything more. I'm not saying you don't have to get up earlier, you don't have to do anything more. You could still do whatever you do the rest of the day. Imagine if you could literally take all of your spiritual assets and double their value. Now there is a way to do that. Now here's the way. We're coming up on the 9th of Tishrei. On the 9th of Tishrei, there's a very, very big mitzvah. People really get into this mitzvah. I know people, they have a hard time connecting, to spirituality. But this mitzvah, people really connect to. The mitzvah of eating. And some people practice the whole year just to be able to properly fulfill the mitzvah of eating on Erev Yom Kippur. What's the reason for the mitzvah of Erev Yom Kippur? And Chazal say, the Gemara says that anyone who eats on Erev Yom Kippur, it's like you fasted the 9th and the 10th. What does that mean? Really? I should try this mitzvah more often. If I eat on Erev Yom Kippur, by the way, you'll notice, some people, the moment Shachris is over, they usually run to eat. Some people, they have food in their tefillin box. So that, no, I'm joking. Don't get nervous. Just my sense of humor, you got to get used to, okay? But people, they keep my friend Ian is from Memphis, right? But I know you heard some of the shiurim, so you know a little bit, yeah? Anyway, so people, they're every day, as soon as Shachris is over, they run to eat. Erev Yom Kippur, I don't have an appetite. It comes like Shalashudas. So Erev Yom Kippur and Shalashudas, they have similar vibes. That what? People don't have room to eat. Why? Because it's a mitzvah. Once there's a mitzvah, the Yetzer Hara doesn't want you to eat. Anyway, but why would Chazal say that if you eat on Erev Yom Kippur, it's like fasting the 9th and the 10th? So Rabbeinu Yonah says in the Shari Tshuva, that when a person does a mitzvah besimcha, it dramatically enhances and magnifies the value of the mitzvah. Doing a mitzvah besimcha really increases its value. So we have a mitzvah, it's called Yom Kippur. Doing tshuva on Yom Kippur, fasting on Yom Kippur, it's a great mitzvah. But people they do the mitzvah, but they don't do it so happily. Yeah? But if by eating on Erev Yom Kippur, it shows the great simcha you have that you're fasting on Yom Kippur, so now you didn't just fast the 10th, it's like you double your earnings. You doubled your earnings. By doing a mitzvah besimcha, it's like you doubled your earnings. So here you have a mitzvah of wearing tefillin. But if before you wear the tefillin, you have a feeling of simcha to put on the tefillin, it's like you did it twice. Or you're learning now at the shir. If you learn at the shir, I have to learn at the shir, because my wife's going to ask me, did you learn anything today? So I'm going to have to answer her yes. But I don't really want to do it. So then, okay, you still get the mitzvah. But if you do it happily, then it's like you learn double. That's why we have bagels at the shir. Because this way people, we're not just trying to double your size. No, we're not trying to actually double your size. Even though by eating the bagels, yes, it may successfully double your size. However, we're trying to double your earnings. When you do a mitzvah b'simcha, it makes the mitzvah be worth double its value. Actually, the Chassam Sofer writes, the reason why we sing Vidoy with this really happy tune, Ashamnu, Bagadnu, Gazalnu, Dibarnu, Doifi, yeah. Why do we sing it so? Now, some Chazanim, they think it's a sad tune. They go, Ashamnu, Bagadnu. No, they don't know the tune. It's a happy tune. First, let's get the tune, yeah? Why is it a happy tune? Because you're doing a mitzvah. What's the mitzvah? Vidoy. So you have to do b'simcha, like Chassam Sofer says. So, adding simcha to a mitzvah, it's like kulbat. You're taking the same AC, and you're making it basically work. It's accomplishing double. It doesn't cost that much. It's not like you're buying a $50,000. You're doing the mitzvah anyway. You're here anyway. You're learning anyway. You're putting on tefillin anyway. You're saying Shema anyway. If you add simcha, it's like kulbat. You're doubling your mitzvah. I knew there was a reason I needed to see that kulbat. I'm going to use it one day in a drasha. It's okay, yeah? It's okay if, let's say, once in a Shabbos Shuvah drasha, I say something, you say, well, one time you said it Sunday morning. It's good to review it. Anyway. And in general, this time of the year, simcha is very important. One of the reasons we start Slichos Matzai Shabbos is the Chumas Hadeshin says we coming off the Limud HaTorah of Shabbos and we're besimcha. Really? So for many, the last thing anybody thinks about Aseret Yimei Tshuva and Yom Kippur is simcha. No. The Gemara says, Lo hayu yamim tovim liyisrael ki yom HaKippurim. Yom Kippur was the happiest day of the year. Yom Kippur was the happiest day of the year. So that's like an introduction to today's shir, and that's the analogy of kulbat and doing mitzvahs besimcha. Okay, you ready for this? Fasten your seatbelts. But I need a